generally, I'm always going to tell therapists, generally, to raise their rates. But there's one caveat. If you go back and start doing this and you charge more for it in separation to like Swedish and deep tissue, if the Thai costs more, what are they going to want to do?
Something cheaper.
They're going to go cheaper and they're going to go to what they know. Because this is taking a risk. But if the cost is the same, here's what I recommend you do. Run a special and give them 90 minutes of table tie for the hour of deep tissue. You're giving them 30 free minutes. How many of you are disgruntled when you hear that I'm asking you to give away 30 minutes of free work? She is disgruntled. Why are you disgruntled by that?
I just wouldn't work for free.
You don't want to work for free.
I wouldn't work for free.
You wouldn't work. You wouldn't work for free.
I've done it before, that's fine.
Okay. And I don't want to make you push over your boundaries. I would, in other words, I'm not going to make you. The reason I'm giving them 30 free minutes is because they're going to choose table tie 9 times out of 10. And I'm going to have a client who can't even go anywhere else to receive the service because they're like, this, I want this. You give them 30 free minutes to hook them. When they get 90 minutes, they want to go back to an hour. When they get this, when they get table tied, they want to go back to deep tissue.
I don't even want to go back to
The money I make will completely dwarf that 30 free minutes I gave away. What I do is I run a limited offer special. Hey, I just trained in this new service. Just for this week, if you book a session, I'm going to give you a 90-minute for the price of an hour, but it's table tie. Make sure they understand that it's clothes on and all that stuff. And tell them it's deeper than deep tissue. I'm really excited about this new service. When a client hears, okay, there's deep tissue and there's Thai massage, what do they want?
If they don't know any different deep tissue.
They don't know what Thai massage is. They don't know what Thai massage is. We have to get them in. If I say, hey, I'll give you 30 free minutes, that's all they hear. Ooh, 30 free minutes? I like 30 free minutes. I'll try it. Do you see how I sweetened the deal? If they're, and they'll always do this, by the way, they'll always go back to what they know, and they'll likely go to a shorter time frame. How many of you have like options on your menu and it's like 45-minute, hour, 90-minute, 2 hour?
Ours is 30 minutes, hour, 90 minutes, and on
Here's what I do, and I think psychologically this works. I found some marketing materials and looked at this, and I think this is how people think. What I did is I took massage off of my menu of services. My website says Thai massage plenty, but I was offering a 3-hour reboot and a 90-minute belly reboot. Holy shit, what does this guy do? I put the 3-hour reboot first. At that time when I did it, it was $240. What did they think? They've hit my website, they're looking for a massage, they hit my website and I've got a session called a reboot that's 3 hours long and it costs $240 and my online scheduler, there's not anything available for 2 weeks. What do they think?
That's something pretty cool. I want to check it out. I want to know what it's all about.
I think they have a little sticker shock. Whoa, oh my God. Is this a massage? It's like 3 hours? Now, when they look at the 90-minute belly reboot, it was like 140 or something. Does the 140 sound like a lot of money now? Put the session that you really want to sell at the top.
Yeah, that's weird.
I want you to go from, let's say it's Thai and you list it as Thai. I want you to put the 2-hour, if that's what you want to do, the 2-hour first, and then go down. Because here's what happens. Let's say they choose 90 minutes. Because the 90 minutes isn't so expensive now because they've judged it based off the 2-hour price they saw first. Does it make sense? because lowered, like it changes. What happens if you flipped that and you go 30-minute, hour, hour and a half, 2 hours? The prices are growing as they go. I think it changes their perception of what you're doing.
They'll accommodate to something more in the middle.
My fear is that if you charge more for Thai and you leave the other massage on your menu, they're always going to go back to what they know, and they're going to go back to a less expensive service. Does that make sense? I didn't give them a choice. I'm like, nope, this is what I do now. When I first had my own home studio for the first time, I went crazy and did a 2-hour session. You remember I said you don't give away your work for free? I took some regular clients. I was pondering the 3-hour. I took a couple of regular clients. I would see them once a week. I would just give them an extra hour. I did that for several months. And I said, Nathan, I've been giving you a free. He's like, yeah, I noticed that. You've been doing like a whole extra hour each time, and you weren't even charging me more for it. And I say, listen, don't worry about the cost. What do you prefer? The 3-hour, bro. The 3-hour is awesome. You get a chance to work on all my stuff. It's amazing. And that's how the 3 hours born, because I gave that time away for free. Remember I said you don't work for free? I showed up at the Thai Massage Jam for 5 hours each week, 52 times a year for 8 years in Austin, and gave away work for free. Why did I do that?
Build a brand.
Because it built massive notoriety, and it built the entire practice. I had people contacting me because their friend had a session and somebody found out about me, and Thai Massage had a place, because no place in Austin would create a mat-based service. So I started giving the mat-based service away. I'd have a client call me and they'd find out the session at that time was $240, and they're like, oh, but I'm really broke. I'm like, come to the Thai Massage Jam. It's $5. I'll work on you for free. Whoa, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, just come to the jam. If they liked it, they'd stay, they'd learn, they'd work on other people. And now, was it Tom Sawyer that whitewashed the fence? Man, this is so much fun. I love whitewashing this fence. And what happened?
Other kids paid him to let them have a turn.
Whitewashing the fence, and he didn't have to paint it. Make sense? I was teaching them to work on each other. You get to choose when you give your work away for free. I think, fundamentally, I'm trying to get you to sell a different service. It's going to require some education on your part to be able to work with those clients. My fear is if you charge a higher fee, unless you raise all your rates, okay? If you charge a higher fee for the Thai, is that what they're going to buy? Because now it's more expensive and they have to take a risk. How do people feel about taking risks? Does it make sense? Did I answer your question? And this is a special, by the way. Now, if that person comes in and they got a 30 free minutes, this is me. If they got a 30 free minutes and they were like, man, this work was awesome, I'd go, great. If I liked working with them and they had something I felt we could really help with, I go, listen, we ran this special because I'm testing out this new service. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. I'd love to offer you a package of 4. I'm going to charge you an hour, but you're going to get 90 minutes each time you come in. Why did I do that? Am I losing 2 hours income? 30, 30, 30, 30. Am I losing 2 hours of income? 30, 30 to 30, 30.
Gaining a repetitive client.
I had to sweeten the deal. Go ahead. Sweeten the deal. Make it work for you. I would never have you, if you don't want to give your time away for free, I would never encourage you to do that. Does it make sense? If it breaks your code. What I want you to do is be so booked in the work that you really want to do. What happens, and this has been my experience, what happens when you get booked out 2 weeks?
You don't have any vacation time to breathe.
Then you get, all of a sudden, more people are clamoring to get in, and they have to, oh man, I have to get in line because you're booking out further and further, right? Once that starts to happen, you need to raise your rates. You're only going to do 1 session at a time. If you figure out how to do 2 sessions at once, let me know. If you can figure that, because that will help me financially. Does it make sense? You have to train them.
So mine are in that figuring out the transition right now. Oh, she's busier than she used to be. I'm actually going to have to book regularly now.
Yeah.
instead of me being at their beck and call like I used to be.
Yeah. Train them. Work on it. Be nice, be heart-centered, work with people. I've never turned anybody away because of, but what I did is I kind of used the Thai massage jam as an outlet because I kept raising my rate and they're like, this is not the clients, but the therapists in Austin, like, this is ridiculous. Nobody will pay $300. I'm like, they're paying it. Like, so I'm charging $300 an hour and then I go to the Thai massage jam each week and give it away for free. Because nobody could complain about my fees anymore. I'm like, oh, well, it's fine. You can come to the jam. It just costs $5. Make sense? I got to do both. I got to charge top dollar and give it away. What's a subscription service?
$7.
I get to charge top dollar and I give it away.